Nine is the number of the ancestors. Nine. We welcome you to this place called Nine. To this place called Hampton. I don't know what the Native Americans call this place, but it calls it Hampton. We welcome the ancestors tonight to this place called Nine Hampton. We welcome the living, sitting here breathing in this realm called the living. Oh, 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 we welcome you to the ancestors. We speak now. The eyes of the earth and see us. Take up the eyes of the earth and see us. Take up the moans of the moon and hear us. Take up the salt of the sea. We are so beautiful in our stories, in our glory, in our history. It's a mystery how we are still standing, but we are standing, standing, standing tall. We are still standing. We are so beautiful in our pain. We are so beautiful in our pain. We are so beautiful in our shame. Take up the eyes of the earth and heal us. Take up the eyes of the sea and free us. Take up the eyes of the sun and see us. We are so beautiful in our pain. We are so beautiful in our shame. Take up the eyes of the sun and see us. Take up the mouth of the moon and say something to us. We are so beautiful in our pain. We are so beautiful in our shame. Take up the salt of the sea and purify us. Call us by name. Take up the salt of the sea and purify us. Call us by name. We are so beautiful in our pain. We are so beautiful in our glory. We are so beautiful in our story. We are so beautiful in our mystery, our history. It's a miracle that we are still standing. But here we are standing. And we are standing with a grateful heart. Welcome to this place called Nine Hampton. Welcome to this time and space. There is no space or time, so they say. All we know is that we are here today at this place called Nine Hampton, and we are here to celebrate, we know that. And we are celebrating a new book that has been birthed into the world called In Wild Violet's Shrine. And you may clap if you like. We are very pleased with this with this book, with the birth of this book. It is everything I imagined it to be, visually and content-wise. And it's all the poems that I never thought I would be publishing. So, you know, Spirit said, you know, it's really time to really get to the stuff, you know, and stop writing around the stuff. So, you know, some of the poems I'll never read in public. Some of the poems are just to be published because they needed to be said for the healing. These are healing poems for me. These are poems on the path of my healing, my family's healing, my ancestors' healing, my personal healing. So they are sacred poems, no matter how wild they are. I had a friend that gave her the book, and she was reading through the book. She said, "Wow, these are wild poems." I said, "Yes!" Thank you. So I'm glad to be here. I'm glad we are here together. We're going to get started. Jacqueline Johnson is going to be our first poet. She's going to be celebrating with her, adding a couple of her poetry to the her poems to the celebration. Jacqueline Johnson, thank you. Well, how's everybody?
Great.
All right, you've hung in there for a while, so I'll make this short and sweet. I just want to say that it's my privilege to celebrate with Stephanie this new book. She gave it to me a few weeks ago, and I've been taking my sweet time reading it. But I've been reading it very differently. I've been reading it intuitively. So I'm just opening it and finding poems and enjoying wherever my eye falls. And she has some great lines and some really deep healing poems that when I read them, I feel like she's telling my story too. So I encourage you to buy it. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And what she does within the pages visually is really, really nice. So it's a nice complement of words and image. Okay, in celebration of this new book, I'm going to read from my old book, A Gathering of Mother Tongues. I'm just going to read a poem called Clara. She was music, whole note, was a reggae, bebop, blues singing woman. She learned to sing in a place where the scent of magnolias filled the air and hot sun danced across the nape of her bare neck. She sang in a place where men still knew how to love women and leave them weeping in eternal blue dawns. She learned from an old songstress who taught her to hold her notes, lungs bursting, diaphragm stretching, becoming a strong, flexible instrument. Clara listened deeply for inner song. She created color from sweet memories. Her song became a particular place, a special mood. She learned to sing in a circle of women who made rocks sweet with their sweetness. This song made water pure and clear, forming your eyes. She learned to sing in the woman of herself. Clara's singing was more than a sound. Her music was like a staccato drumbeat running up and down your spine. Her music was like new money jingling in your pockets, was like the sound of rolling sky. She was midnight thunder, laughing kisses over brown mirrors, singing. Clara, reggae, bebop, blues singing woman was music, whole note, melody, and lyric in one. That's from Mother Tongue. You can get it online. It's like $9 online. All right, and I'm going to read from this little chapbook I made up last summer. It's called The African Angel Goddess Poems, and I'm just going to read the title poem. No ethereal illuminations for her. She was always earthbound, attracted to nightlife, music, places where folks were dancing so hard, bodies rained sweat. African angel, mother of humanity, Lucy definitely ain't her name. See her wearing silver, kicking ass alligator boots, get right in my face shouting, girl, get the hell up.
She wears her halo glinting across her Delta Y forehead, the harp and horn thing she left in heaven, but she'll walk you through any adversity, knowing all the pathways in and out of hell. She can visit wearing many disguises, rags so dense, only the gold of her face is visible. She speaks Mandarin, Bantu, Twi, same sweet mother tongue to her. We'll meet you at the river Styx, bored with crossing over in that rickety-ass boat. Might even give you a second chance, because it's rebirth and life that interests her. She's in the smoke where women gather, bearing arms, refusing to be raped, murdered, and refugeed from their homes. Woman of war in Liberia, Rwanda, Sierra Leone. New woman in Abuja, Cape Town, Harlem, Brooklyn, Arusha. New woman everywhere, gather to give birth to a future we can inhabit. African angel in the middle of our middle passage, etching freedom over us, kicking us forward. New woman, change forever. Right.
All right, we're going to keep it moving. The next poet is Sinead Jackson, my good friend, who's a wonderful poet and a good friend. Sinead introduced me to my husband, so you know that's my girl. Sinead Jackson.
Hello, everyone. First of all, I want to say it's an honor to be here, and Stephanie is a part of the African village in my life. She's a mother to my children. She's known my children since they were very small, and it's just an honor to be a part of her life. Thank you. And everyone else, all the new friends in here. I'll start with survival. That sounds like a good one. Survival consists of smiling endlessly throughout the channels of pure love, melting the flames inwardly from the mighty eclipse of the sun. Beginning a new life just to capture the secret of how to love. Charging on with great strength without fear. Forgiving parents for the love that you didn't receive because they didn't receive it and therefore didn't know how to give it. Choosing, separating what's for the mind and what should belong to the temple that the soul lives in. Having everything a person could wish for, yet still searching for the boundaries of love. To forgive the wind for swiping the melody of time. To forgive yourself for the twist-ups during your lifetimes of searching for truth. Being calm, being at peace. Survival consists of loving purely throughout the continents and nations of the great priceless yet glorious past. The survival. My next poem is called Service. I am timeless, ageless, priceless, endlessly entwined in eternity, unity loving all there is to be. I am he, she, it, I am they, we. I can be here, yet I still can be there. I can think that I'm something and still be nothing. I am love, peace, happiness, devotion, and dedication. As I discover the truth about life, my job is to teach it. I awaken every day living my religion. Giving with love is my service. I'm never out of work. What I give is what I receive. I give it all. Service. And my last poem is called Natural High. This poem always makes me happy. Being natural makes life so easy, free, and wonderful. Full of mysteries to treasure. To live each wondrous day is certainly a pleasure. Running smoothly like grains of sand in the hourglass of time. Once you understand creation's plan, almighty love will take its stand. Beauty will unfold. Nature, being its own religion, will positively fulfill each moment, so natural and real. Deal with what you feel. Let it flow upwardly to peace. Almighty love every day is all that should be felt. Natural high, something incredible is grasping my soul. The truth of life has proved itself with a master plan to live each day as if it is your last, with the secret of joy, dancing, prancing, romancing your own spirit as if it's your favorite toy.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Get ready.
All right. So I never know which poems I'm going to read until I feel the people who are present. So I'm going to read. It's a jest, yes. I have a fan already.
Yeah.
All right, we'll start at the beginning of sorts, one of the beginnings. Is it just me, or has anybody had the experience of the feeling that you have another home that's not the home that we are allegedly said to be a part of? I've often had that feeling that I'm from another place, and I'm from Philadelphia. So this poem is called "The City of Otherly Love." Oh gosh, I know Philadelphia. You know Philadelphia? Yes, I do. All right. I like that title. "The City of Otherly Love." I ain't talking about Philadelphia. Okay, maybe I should let it go for a little while. Into flesh I fell from something somewhere. Into the flesh I fell from something somewhere. Into form in North Philadelphia. Possessing no special gifts except to breathe beyond the place I stood. To breathe beyond the place I stood. The bells inside my spirit ever tolling to another time. The bells inside my spirit ever tolling to another time. I formed wings, fled my body. No visible wounds except scars of lightning beneath my skin just before storm. When the air is wet with wooded places, thunder in the roots of trees, nostalgia for forgotten places, heavily, heavily, heavily upon me. This other world always moving through me, always moving through me. This other world always upon me, whispering in wooded places. The bells inside my bones ever tolling to another time. I left Philadelphia, seeking a city of otherly love, and I have found it. That's where I'm from. City of otherly love. This poem is called "When My Birthday Falls on Summer Solstice," which it does sometimes. I have been accused of too much comfort with the darkness. But my need has always been a nearness to the light. My first light, floating like Luna from my mother's waters, arriving at the shore of life in radiance. Then came soft lamplight that calmed me when I cried out for more light, when I was merely months away from the all-light. And on that dirt road of Delta, That long walk when in my 20s, I received my second sight. And in my 30s on the island of Mombasa, where babies smell of Zanzibar and the sun enters like a queen in crimson clothing, and the women in their sun-painted faces down to the onyx core, let the light ring through them in bells of overflow. They preen like trophies of eyelight. And in the heartlight of my 40s, in Sag Harbor, on the beach where I surrendered myself, a seaweed rag, to glitter the shore with no woman, no cry, no woman, no cry. All day and all night we sang to any listening light above us. All summer long the sun, my shelter and my shield, mended the silk of slant light into my ragged radiance. And in my 50s, at last, in the clear light, I see God as goddess, naked in a sun house of shrine and chandelier. Shine and shadow. If the state is our father and the government our uncle and the earth our mother, then the police must be our shadow, rising up to kill our kind that shine. I woke up one day and I was pissed off at the civil rights movement, the nonviolent movement in America. I just woke up feeling like, how dare they? How dare they? Dogs and hoses. I woke up pissed off, thinking about Birmingham and those little girls. I just woke up one day thinking about that. So I wrote this poem called Blinded by the Light of the High Road. Blinded by the light of the high road. And the subtitle is for the broken and the beaten and the battered and the maimed and the blinded, deformed and otherwise despised, disposed victims of the nonviolent movement. Always near and never far from the strange fruit of Selma. Bloody Sunday on the Pettus Bridge. Horse hooves crushing women pregnant and dressed for church. How dare they? I count the women miscarriaging down the embankment. What were the names of the never born? Clock of billy clubs ticking upside men's skulls. I gather body parts lost in the battle. Blood of peaceful resistance is splattered thickly throughout the air of the South. I breathe the air in my bones. In Marion, Alabama, that night when the lights went out and the young died protecting the old, in a strange church of Christ, invaded by Christians deputized with crucifying authority to bash black bodies in the endless empty throughout the bloody night. Billy Club prophets singing shotgun chants, picking their noses with hoes, pounding their chest, taking aim at anybody's mother, whosoever's little cherub child. I collect wounds I cannot see. What became of the bright-eyed in clean white socks who watched their mother's soul crack open, saw their fathers bleed down to the bone? What became of those children? What nightmares walk with them where they walk today? How do they cope with fire hoses? How do they endure their neighbors' barking dogs? I count what I cannot see. I collect the blood. I gather up the bones. I was not there, but I cannot forget. I make myself remember. I was not there, but I cannot forget. Do not ever force me the strychnine soup of nonviolence in the face of wild, rabid aggression. I take up arms against it. I write a tale against it. I write it with a chainsaw and my coccyx. The ink of Nemesis and midnight fog. The flesh that curls like shame across the quiver river. A chill rolls down my spine, straight into the icy arms of a black, wet nurse. Sweet tits arched in arsenic. I remember the Birmingham church. I will remember the Birmingham church. I will always remember the Birmingham church in every plum's sweet, dark face of blood.
You in that church.
That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. Grateful. We have two beautiful boys in our family who are new to the family. And I wrote a poem for each of them. And this is for Sundiata. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Little returning ancestor, you are the eyes of everything. Your sight, nuanced to small things. The mole over my left eye. The gap in my bottom teeth. My hair held up with amethyst beads. The universe of the room in which you lay. You are the eyes of everything. You see what is and is not there. You smile and green the open doorways. Our religion is the same silence, you and I. We sit, smile, you talk to me, even though they say you are too young, only 10 months and 10 days. They say you had only 6 months in the womb. I know that's all you needed. Tell me where you come from, how you got all the way here to Brooklyn. Brooklyn, you laugh, we smile. Your parents read aloud from a book with your name on it, Sundiata, King of Mali. You smile again to tell us you know who you are, and remind us what smiling is, how you return to make us do it. I hold your left foot, smaller than a cluster of seconds. Your little body running errands for Earth, our mother, the other world, our ancestors. You wear the changing bodies of our dead, all clay and clear water. Palace port to another breathing. From vapors, your little lips rise up, mouthing words that yearn like seeds for sky. Now, Emilio was born on his grandmother's birthday. And I would go and visit him when he was just a few months old. And every week I would sit with him, just sit with him on my lap. And so this is the poem that came out of that experience. Emilio, she has returned in you, your grandma, Emily. She sits bright-eyed behind your eyes. You two see eye to eye. Peace-eyed boy with priceless grin. I embrace your little body with my whole self. Little earth-eyed boy, you hold the starlight eyes from the skylight thighs of the sea of souls in eye light come before you. You hold the starlight eyes from the skylight thighs of the sea of souls in eye light come before you. She is singing in the sun of your smile, Emilio, singing in the sun of your smile. Humming in the flesh of your hands, Emily. He is humming in the flesh of your hands. She whispers in the starlight of your cells, Emilio. She is whispering in the starlight of your cells. He is curled in the curve of your hair, Emily. Curved in the curl of your hair. And so we sit, we three, with 1,000 others, veiled in mystery, beneath the willow we have made in the ancestral shade. This is mystery enough for me, Emilio. This is mystery enough for me. Arrived. You still want to read?
Yes.
So you want one poem, the mother poem?
Yes.
Is that all right?
I'll do that. My apologies to everyone. The Whitestone Bridge was incredible. But I'm so happy to be here, and thank you so much for inviting me. Called My Mother's Flower. This poem was written in honor of the 91st anniversary of my mother's birth. Zella Mae Janelle Carter came into this world on May 7th, 1916. And passed into the next on November 1st, 1992. And may she rest always in peace. Today, more than ever, I am my mother's daughter. I am the flowering of the seeds she planted so long ago. Seeds that withstood the poison of fear, droughts of indifference, infestations of abuse, a relentless deluge of can'ts and shouldn'ts to blossom into full radiant beauty. I am the flower of the seeds my mother planted long ago. My roots reach deep into black Tennessee earth, Minnesota hoarfrost, the subterranean tunnels of New York City, and suburbia's tilting sidewalks. I flower because I was nurtured on kindness and fed from the table of family lore. I was cared for through crisis and loved in the best way Zella Mae knew how. I live because she lived. I thrive because she believed there was more to be had than hunger and suffering, sharecropping and tomato worms. More to be learned than can't and don't do, stay back and eyes down. More to be shown than a strap or a stick. More to be given than harsh criticism. I am the daughter of the mother who sang her own song in varied octaves and foreign tongues, who drew a life for herself and painted it with colors of her own creation, who stitched together a quilt of well done from the thin cloth of poverty and humble beginnings, using patterns cut from telescoped memories and brown paper bags. A mother whose private sadness was given over on her knees to the Almighty in prayer while she walked this public world with pride in her carriage, fire in her eyes, and never, ever backed down from anyone. With flowers in my hair and backyard garden dirt under my fingernails, I stand before you in the spring of my season, draped in vestments of my own making, shot through with bright silver threads of her teaching, trimmed in the fringe of ancestral choosing, long, golden fringe, blowing in the soft wind of irrevocable knowing. I am my mother's flower. I am my mother's daughter. I am. I am.
I really appreciate your coming out to support the evening of poetry. May the ancestors bless you always. And oh, I just wanted to say the last poem that I read about Emilio and Emily, I would like to say her African name, her true name, as you all know her by, which was Suhaila. So on that sound, Suhaila, may you go in peace. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yes, and the books are on the table if you want to buy. And my friend Erica, a fabulous poet and artist, is also selling her books, Ruminate Penumbra and Yoruba Girls in Crinoline Dresses. She's a fabulous poet, and there are beautiful visuals in Ruminate Penumbra that are also on sale. The book is on sale on the table for those who would like to purchase it. Thank you. She has her book, also
Full grown and female.
Full grown and female, also on sale at the book table.
Stephanie.
And the artwork, thank you, help me.
Oh, the artwork of Shakespeare is displayed upstairs. Walk upstairs.
Is it for sale or?
The artist is here, so the artist can speak with him directly.
Okay, do you have any interest in the work? The book, my book is 15.